fucking with you.
Yeah. Chop it up. Chop it up. Yeah, chop it up, 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 hey, hey, chop it up, 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 hey, hey. It's time to chill. It's time to chop it up. It's time to chill. It's time to chop it up. Chop it up, 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 hey. Chop it up, 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 hey, hey. It's time to chill. It's time to chop it up. It's time to chill. It's time to chop it up. I chop it up like I'm a Hawklyfe. They wanna talk, I got my talk right. This what you need after a long night. We can chill, tell me how you feel. Chop it up, keep it real.
Hey, Fry, we fucking.
Chop it up, chop it up, hey. Chop it up, chop it up, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Chop it up, chop it up.
I'm recording now.
All right.
Hey.
Oh yeah, for the video, right?
Yeah.
You should have had squad over here. Whole squad behind us.
Yo, man, it's the Chop It Up podcast. It's your boy Hawklyfe, man, and I'm back with another one. What you just heard was Nowadays by Lakeshore Disciples. We're gonna introduce them one by one, and we're gonna let them tell you who they are and where they from. From what I do know, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Us too, yeah.
Yeah, the two of us.
Yeah, the two
Yeah.
guys. Craig, I think it is. Craig, I don't know where you're from, so I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and let the people know where you're from. Well, Carl, I'm sorry, let me correct that because I don't like getting people's name wrong. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all guys introduce yourself one by one, let the people know where y'all from, and then we're gonna get into it.
Yo, go ahead.
Oh no, you do. We're from Toronto.
All right. All right. So originally I'm from West Virginia.
Okay.
And grew up in Ohio, and went to school in Cincinnati. Right now I'm living in Hartford, about to move to North Carolina, so all over the place.
You get around, boy. I'm X-Rater out of Toronto. We've been working together for a while.
Tech. Yeah.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, what I find unique about this interview is first the music that y'all talking about. Like literally the way y'all put a song together, and just every aspect of what y'all do, I'm kind of curious. Being an MC myself, it is motivating to see and to see the response that y'all got every song that y'all put out. So it's gonna be a good interview, and I'm gonna just first of all, I'm gonna say shout out North Carolina because they got a lot of great artists coming out of North Carolina. I also want to say this is my first time interviewing anyone from Canada.
Oh, damn.
So this
Thanks, man.
Yeah, sweet.
I didn't. Oh yeah, it's very dope for me. I didn't people from Australia, people from Russia. This is my first Canada connection, so this is gonna be fun. Yeah, if y'all was thinking in the back of your mind, how do you work these time zones out? Thank God for Google.
Right? Yeah, straight up. That's what it was.
For real.
Central to Eastern time. Yeah, because we're the same. We're the
Yeah,
Cosmo.
it kind of threw me off. He was like, it was 12:56 a.m. I'm like, huh? So yeah, okay, makes sense. And I'm in the South. I'm originally from Louisiana. I'm originally from
Okay.
New Orleans, so I'm from the South. So that's why it threw me off. So when y'all, I know y'all so far up, and when y'all was like, oh, we're just an hour away from you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got some guy with from Australia we're working with, and that's like 13-hour difference. That's like I'm just like texting him in the morning, like, oh shit, are you up? Okay, good stuff.
Absolutely. We gonna first get into the song that caught my eyes, which is Nowadays. Nowadays, yeah, I was big. This basically what I like about it was no cursing, not too much of it, and it had a message. Like I realized that every song that y'all have put out so far has a message. Tell me first how before we get into Nowadays, how the name Lakeshore Disciples came about.
Okay, so that's you want to take that?
Sure. So like we grew up together. We went to school with each other since we were young. We grew up specifically the area in Toronto where we're from is Lakeshore. So we were like we knew we wanted Lakeshore something, and I remember even like sitting on the bus one time where we're coming down like back to our area from like another part of the city, and we're like, how about Lakeshore this,
I
Lakeshore
remember
that, and like we were
Villains-
throwing
Villains
them
was like
around,
that
like
preliminary one?
yeah, you know, and it's like then
Lakeshore
like thinking
Villains.
about it like abbreviated, like okay, if it's like LS for Lakeshore, like what would the last letter be to like make some sort of an acronym that like kind of rolls off the tongue? It's easy to say maybe it stands for something else and means something. And then when we thought about it being like, well, there's like Lakeshore Drive, but we can't just name our group after being just a street. Otherwise, people looking us up at like Google Maps is going to take over and be
Yeah.
like, "You're talking about
Especially with
this place, right?"
Chicago
We're like,
being
"No,
the
we're
main place
we're
for
people,
that.
not a road." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we land on disciples because it was like, you know, like the same way like the disciples were to like Jesus, like where they learned like the tutelage from him and whatnot, like all in the same type of vein where we're like, well, this is like we learned from where we were raised and like the different situations we were through. So we're like, that's what we went with. And it, of course, the acronym didn't hurt to be like, it's LSD. Now we can play around with it in like kind of trippy visual ways and stuff like that. So it just opened a lot of avenues.
It gave us like a lot of room, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on the street, based on like being raised by the street, based on the whole acronym. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I actually love the name. That's why I was curious, and I did do the research. I just wanted to try to say it for the camera. I did do the research. I did know it came from y'all growing up, and I think that's really cool aspect of it because we as people we make our best moves. I would say our best music, and even have our best triumphs coming from where we come from. Especially when we don't forget where we come from. They make us even more humble going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I know collectively y'all have done some stuff solo and some stuff as a group. How is it creatively mashing those two aspects together?
For us, it's always been so crazy because like when I first started off, I was really like boom bap style, and he was just coming into his own and he was doing whatever. Like he was really creative and original. When I was like emulating a rap style that I started, and he wasn't even into rap originally, like a big rock fan, essentially. So it was interesting to see what came of that. When we came together, we were always trying to find like a group essence. So we always did different stuff, but my solo stuff was always more message driven. And then when we fell into our own lanes, grew up and got into some extra shit, his stuff was more hard, and I was more soft. And then when we came together, we blended it with some more just like entertaining samples and shit. So it's pretty cool how we blend. Then when I met Carl, we actually met through Reddit, and I loved his vocals. So latching that onto that for nowadays and like bringing that all together, I'm like really liking the direction of the sounds we got for the next upcoming projects. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna get into Nowadays. Nowadays is definitely a project worth listening to. I feel like any artist that make music with substance is a sound for me.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through some of these songs and just tell us what the creative process was like. Nowadays, being first, let us know what that creative process was like making it.
That was a pretty funny one, actually.
Oh
So,
man.
me and Carl, we've been talking. The three of us worked together through a small Reddit community called Making Hip Hop. So we were all in ciphers together, and we just rating each other's bars. And I was like, you did great on that cipher. He's like, yo, I love this. He's throwing me votes, and I was like, yo, this guy, he respects good music. So he was actually, he liked our stuff originally, and we were like, hey, like, what do you got going on? And he actually did only a couple ciphers at that point. And then when he started releasing and showing us some tracks, I was like, I like this guy. I want to do some stuff. And we were like, we should collab. But it's just one of those like, yeah, we should collab. And then one day I was like, hey, let's collab beats right now. Let's go. And we just went for it. And he actually picked that beat. That was his choice. So it was just, I was like, I feel like I could match your style. So pick the beat and I'll go with whatever you could do. And for the next project, we'll do the reverse. And we did. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Collectively, I believe y'all compliment each other. You know, everybody got their own thing single, but when y'all put it together, it's just a whole different type of mash. One of the other songs that stood out to me was, I want to get the name right, Mirrors.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mirrors was also a dope track. Tell me about the creative process behind Mirrors.
Oddly enough, Reddit, I guess, has been good to us. So for that one, it was we've met a producer. He was asking people, he said, I have a beat tape. Does anyone want to get on it? And no one was reaching out. So I went through the comments. I checked the 3 beats out and I was like, hey, I could write something to this. And I was like, hey, we should start collabing with more people, get more exposure, whatever. Let's reach out, start forming a community. People will share music. And this producer was really cool to work with. His name's 10 Flip. And he was just like, yeah, take my beat. And when we did it, I was like, let's try to write something deep, something marketable that's going to be like nice and not so heavy with like heavy drug references or swearing or something. Like, it's always fun to do tracks like that for us because it's what we know sometimes, but it's also fun to do something more on a serious note.
Yeah.
Didn't like the way the hook came together for that, to be honest. I actually would go back. We put some effects on it. We tried something. We loved it in the first hearing, but on repetitive listen, I would change it.
Yeah, well, I get it, because I was gonna ask that because I know how I am when it comes to making stuff. I'm sort of a perfectionist. I'm my worst critic at times because I'll have a whole project complete and I'll go find something wrong with it. Even if it's not there, I'll go find because I want it to be the best thing I can put out. So I definitely get it and understand it. My guy Carl over here, I know you got some songs out. I did my research.
Yeah,
Tell y'all
got a couple.
research.
Yeah, he's good. I like his shit.
There's a couple songs that stood out for me that I liked on the solo aspect of what you do. Songs like Spook Seasoning.
Yeah, Spooky Seasoning.
Spooky Seasoning. What was the creative process of making that?
Yeah, so I mean, it was coming up on Halloween, right? It was like just some mid-September or something like that. And I was just like, man, I'd really like to make a Halloween track that just, just had all the villains, in it. Yeah. It was like all the characters that I could get and like deliver it in kind of like a fun, creative, it's like something new. Like I hadn't really heard anything like that before. And it was like, I always wanted to hear a song like that. And I was like, maybe I can do it, And then, I don't know. I was able to get it, and then I got the vocal for the Pennywise the clown laugh and that. And I was like, and then actually I mixed that with the guy Jack. I found him on Reddit as well.
Reddit coming clutch.
And so he mixed it for me, and I was like, man, this sounds like really good. He put all the beat cuts and everything, put it all together. And I was like, I was really pleased with how that one came out. So. Yeah, I just wanted to make a Halloween song, and I did.
You did that live too, like for your office. I seen on your Instagram you did that one live, right? That's
oh yeah, I did. Yeah,
looking like Shady. Was that the
yeah?
I was Shady for Halloween.
We had an office Halloween party, and they were like, "All right, you can dress up as anybody." I was like, "Oh, okay, don't tell me that." So I was like, "All right." I thought of okay, who could I be? I was like, "All right, I'll go with Slim Shady." And then if I do that, they'll ask me to rap something. And I was like, I've already got this on deck, so I rapped that for the office. I put it on my Instagram. I was like, that was good. So it was one of my first live performances was that Spooky Seasoning.
They're moving quick, man. You just started time. Like how long you started? Like not even recently. That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe like last May, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fast progress. That's why I want to work with him. That's why.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow, because your work don't say 6 to 7 months. Your work say
Yeah,
years.
well, I was telling these guys, like I've always written poems and stuff. I've always been writing. I've always had an affinity for words. So like stand-up comedy, love the way people wordplay with that.
Yeah.
And then hip hop, I was like, man, this is like the creme de la creme of the wordplay. Like this is where it's at.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to try my hand at some of that, And then we got all quarantined and everything. I was like, well, I got all this extra free time, like can't go out to the bar or whatever. Like I got to do something with my time. I was like, so I'll turn those poems into some kind of music format. And I was like, and then I started getting into it. I'm like, man, I love this. Like I really enjoying myself. And then found the Reddit, the ciphers. And I was like, okay. So I entered a couple of those. And then from there, I just kind of fell in love with it more and more, just writing more and more. And now we're here.
Yeah, man, incredible. Just a side note, and I have to say this a couple of times, but when I first started making music, before I even started making music, poetry was an emotional outlet for me. I fell in love with poetry in high school. Ironically, I was one of those kids in my senior year where I felt like I gave y'all 3 good years. This year I'm gonna kind of relax back. And I had an English test that I needed to pass before the year out so I could at least, pass with a C or a light B. And so happened the last project was poetry. And that's where the love of poetry came in because I had to do my research, I had to do it right, and I had to make sure I passed it. So that's where it came, and it came with my weird words, and I went from there to rap to making little short films, writing short films and stuff like that. I've been doing it since I was younger. But I understand the power of words, the power of moving words around, being able to play with them, and be able to construct these beautiful pieces of art. You know what I'm saying? When you put all the pieces together, because that's all music is a puzzle piece. You got the beat, you got the hook, you got the chord, you know what I'm saying? It's a big
100%.
puzzle piece. And when you get that right harmonies and right pieces to fit, it just works.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like deconstructing or reconstructing a puzzle every time. It's like, I can get this word to mean like 5 different things or like sound different ways and everything.
I think you know that you find that pocket of rhymes too, and you're just like, oh my God, not only am I hitting these rhymes, but I'm saying some stuff here that's gonna it's gonna resonate. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And it sticks better. Like the point sticks if it sounds good.
I swear you find like when you're writing a song that's kind of cheap, you can't really memorize it that well. And then you come back to it and you're like, it's awkward. But you get a song that you just like love. You find yourself like, I already memorized that. I just it took me a couple takes and then I hit the mic and I'm like, I love this track. It gets done quicker. You're motivated to get it out because you're like, people need to hear this now. Hit the press now. Like, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I really commend artists who take pride in what they put out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's not a lot of great music out, but the music don't have the substance no more. So you can tell they don't take pride in it in that way. They just make music for the monetary gain. Well, I can make something shaking my ass. I know it's gonna sell, but I'm shaking my ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Just pretty much. I mean, at the end of the day, we all men. We done probably been in the strip club a couple times. We ass shaking. We want talk about some relevance. But another song that caught my eye from you, Carl, is "Bravery."
Yeah.
If I say that right, take us through the process of making that.
Well, actually, so at that point, when I wrote that, I was like coming out of sort of like a tail end of a breakup, dealing with some man versus self, like internal struggles type thing. I was like, a little hiding from myself, lying to myself a little bit. And I was like, like bravery. And I just was thinking about bravery, and that word was just stuck in my head for like a week or something like that. I was like, man, like, I need to be more brave. Like I'm being a coward to myself. Myself's like the enemy on it. I was like, huh. Oh, and then I just started, I found Antarctic Giraffe, actually. That was something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Damn. Shout out Antarctic Giraffe.
Antarctic Giraffe. So, but the beat worked, and I was like, this is something, you know, with the long intro, I was like, oh, I could actually get like a monologue type of thing to lead into it. And I was like, all right. And then that was pretty much, that was what it was. I was just talking to myself, basically, you know.
Absolutely. You was
Working
basically
through
telling
it.
yourself you need to be brave. Man, like I said, I love artists who has a story to tell. You know what I'm saying? And what you guys do as a collective and not just a solo. That's why I wanted to kind of show the solo aspects of what I do as well as the group aspects collectively, because I know you're joining them on the next project.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to hear that. I don't know how much about that project y'all want to spill to the folks out there, but y'all welcome to talk about it, kind of, if y'all have a name for it or a date for it. You know, if y'all ain't ready,
We have all of those things. I know.
Yeah, we-
It's just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind you guys. It's up to you.
Yeah, go.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
We
it.
got to figure it out. So
Carl, you go ahead. I've talked enough.
Oh, man. All right. So,
I'll help in. I'll interject if you're not getting it right.
well, I'll get the group name. So, we came up. So they're the Lakeshore Disciples, right? The duo, and then I'm Carl. So we were like, okay, well, if we're gonna release a tape type thing together, then we want to have a group name. We don't want to be one of us featuring the other.
Well, we got now at this point nowadays we got another song coming up probably in a couple weeks, to be honest. News,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, coming out. We got Seasons now, which is all of us, and then we're gonna have a whole tape after this. So we figured we might as well come up with a collaborative name for the project, like where we're working together, kind of like a Slaughterhouse deal type of thing.
Yeah, so they were the LSD, and then my name, so it's Carl with like the small W, but I like to stylize it as like an exponent, like math. So like I've always loved math. That's been I'm an engineer, you know, by trade. Yeah. But so we went with acid math. So it's got the acid, but it's like, oh man, you explain all the words.
Hey man, there's lots of wordplay on it, because obviously LSD is like acid with the thing, and you got yourself acid math. But it's also like we're all nerds at heart. We've come from like a scientific background. We love comics. We love all kinds of stuff, science, and we just figured it's a cool sounding name, but also acid, like acid rap. You got all kinds of plays on words, and it's basically just for the next tape and whatever other future projects we have, just because we wanted to kind of have us all represented, and not just Lakeshore Disciples featuring Carl.
Yeah.
And acid eats inferior materials.
Oh,
yeah. Sure. I mean, like I said, I am guilty by association. If they want to come in there, well, I'm a nerd, because I am a computer nerd. When it comes to anything computer related, that's my backyard.
Oh, right.
In it, you know what I'm saying? So I understand it perfectly. I understand what y'all trying to do with the name. As a group, who are some of the groups that inspire y'all? That artists wise, that has inspired y'all music wise?
Yeah, different for all of us, I'm pretty sure, right? But hi, Carl, what do you think?
Yeah. So for me personally, when I was real young, I got exposed to like 50 Cent and Eminem, you know, and I was like, man, that's good. That's really good. And then when I got back into hip hop, started discovering more artists. So this Big L was a huge one. And then Mac Miller was another, you know, that I found.
Mac Miller.
I definitely hear that. Yeah.
And then just a lot of the older boom bap. So like Rakim and Nas and Tupac, and well, Tupac's a little boom bap, little West Coast, but you know those guys. I'm like, man, I really like, you know, Big Pun, like with his lyrical acrobats that he's doing. So all these, just the lyricists, and then a lot of boom bap. Love boom bap.
Yeah.
What would you say for your?
I mean, like, I came up like, even though I came from more of like a rock background, like when I get into stuff like we've already been talking, like if we're just gonna call it what it is. It's like when we find something we like that you just want to nerd out on, and just like you can't get enough of it, and it's like like you can't scratch that itch enough where it's just I'm get every bit of information I can find about it. I'm just gonna take all of it like that. Like that's what I did with hip hop when I really started getting into it. And so like some of my favorite duos that right off the bat, you know, like I really liked. I mean, Carl already said like Eric B and Rakim are like a fantastic duo, even though Eric B wasn't like doing like anything behind the mic like that. But if it's like actual rapping duos, that I was like, it'd be cool if we could do something like this. Like Outkast was a big one. I really loved the whole vibe that Outkast had for like just they made stuff where it, like you know it's an Outkast record when you hear it right away. It's just like that, like anything, whether it's off of like Aquamini, like Stankonia, like there's just certain records like or certain tracks off of each of those records that when they come on you're just like, oh, that's Bombs Over Baghdad, or that's like Southern Playalistic Cadillac music, like you know what I mean. Like you can just tell. Wheels of Steel is another one. As soon as I hear that like that funky kind of like bass line come in and it's just drumming along and I'm like, oh, okay, like I know these songs. Like I was really into stuff like that. So like, and they create like not only like good records on their own, but like the whole thing where you can listen to these projects from start to finish. They came from the era of like selling albums where like people are picking it up and it's not just you getting a single. It's like they want you to buy the album and it's meant to be heard in its entirety, like from start to finish, not just like eaten in little bite-sized portions. Like
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll be back after these messages.
Yes, sorry, man.
No worries.
I mean where I'm at, so if I move away from the camera, it's because I'm in the shop, I had a customer or something. But
it's all good.
It happens.
Yeah. But man, y'all said some names that really stick out. Outkast being one of them. I like how y'all highly motivated by a lot of late 80s, early 90s hip hop. But Outkast was one of those groups that's just legendary beyond years. Like y'all said, you know it's an Outkast song when you hear it. You know, but for me, what stood out and what made them legendary was they was legendary as a solo, and just as much as they was as a group. I think Outkast did Love Below, and Big Boy did Speaker Box.
Yep.
You know, and both of them was classic albums.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's crazy because they sound so eclectic. One of my favorite movies of all time is Idlewild.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, like that creative, that mindset that they have as artists. You know.
Nothing like a movie that has an amazing soundtrack to back it too, like the whole experience.
Yeah, it's just so much more immersive. Like
yeah, absolutely. Like all over. Y'all gotta understand. And they go buy suit. Okay. Do y'all ever like bump heads on a song? Like y'all ever had a moment so everything is just so smooth flowing and organic? Because I know if I'm in the studio, it happens, you know, when you're in the studio, everybody got their creative differences and they bump heads. But it's like, I know with y'all guys, the Disciples being together so long, how has the growth been from the beginning when y'all started to now? Is it the transition smoother now than it was when y'all first started? Like, kind of give us a take.
100%. Like we learned to work together so well now that everything is just like we won't get on a record if both of us aren't like 100%. We have so much material recorded or written that we've just been like, no, I'm sorry, dude, I didn't like my verse on that. Give away your verse or like reuse it for something else, and he's like, no problem. And I feel the exact same way.
That's
back in the day,
like it's like we don't frown on having creative differences, you know. It's like there's definitely moments where, you know, there's times where we'll sit there and we'll just spend like hours running through beats, listening to them, where it's like, okay, we'll be jamming out, and like sometimes there's ones where we're both feeling it, where like you just get that look where you both look across the room at each other like this is something we got to look into. And then there's times where that's very one-sided, like either him or myself are sitting there like bobbing out, really enjoying like one, and it's like, you're not feeling this one, and then the other one's like, Nah,
Yeah.
not really. It's like, all right, it's a solo record now. If you don't want on
Exactly,
it, I'll
yeah.
take that. Like,
Yeah.
it's no issue. So
It's a good thing that we've developed ourselves as individual artists too. We've taken
Yeah.
time apart to like work on solo stuff, come back, and it's really good to have that freedom so that I'm not always like, oh man, if I can't get on a song with Tech, what will I do? Like we got our own solo stuff, which is great, and the stuff we come together on is just a totally different beast, which is great. Awesome. It's all really fun. I'm having a great time right now for sure.
Yeah.
COVID has really like opened us up to get more time to work on music
Yeah.
creatively. So we take that downside and turn it into a positive, which has been great.
What would you say be the biggest difference from the Canada music scene and the United States music scene?
Jeez. You're more of a hip hop head than
I
am, for
mean,
sure.
like in my opinion, it comes down to the type of artist the person really is. Like if you're like coming from an artist who's part of like doing shit out here and trying to get it going, it's like you're either part of something or you're not, if that makes sense. So and like I definitely see that reflected in the type of music that comes out of like different artists from Toronto, where it's like you either have an original sound and people are like, oh, okay, I can tell from the slang you're using or like from how you're saying certain things or the places you're shouting out that it's like that's a Toronto guy. Or you can tell when it's a Toronto artist emulating somebody else. And I'm like a perfect example of that. It's like you look at like somebody like Drake, for example, like that guy's like a chameleon, you know what I mean? He can shift up on like every track with a different style and like, you know, like come out with one where it's like, oh, I'm gonna get this UK artist on there and even rap with like a little bit of like a kind of UK like draw on like what I'm doing and whatever, and he'll shift that over to fit whatever record he's going on. And it's like it's almost like something like that. Not to say that he's created that archetype for people, but at the same time, like that's really how I see it. That separates the type of artist where it's like, are you fully original and you're trying to be the first of you, or are you trying to just be like, I want to be the next blah blah blah, like, you know.
Right. I would tell any artist, stay true to yourself. You do have to adapt. That's just nature.
Of course.
Anything, but stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So most of the artists that have made it, they stay true to themselves. A lot of people might not like what Cardi put out. You know, it might be a little bit too much ass shaking here and there, but she's staying true to who she is.
Yeah.
You know, you can't complain. And hey, if it ain't broken, why fix it? I guess.
Making money.
There you go.
You know, some of my favorite artists are from Canada. I'm a Drake fan. I'm also a Tory Lanez fan. Unfortunately, he did what he did, but I think he's talented.
Oh, do we have to speak on that?
Yo, he's a screamingly talented though. He's a screamingly talented individual. He just did a song with my homeboy Lil Wayne. They did that track, so shout out to them on that track. I believe it's Big Tipper. Shout out to them on that track, man. Definitely certified banger. And speaking on certified bangers, one song that caught my attention, I guess this might make y'all smile because it's called High Grade Platinum. So let's talk about it, man.
Oh wow.
So that was actually a really interesting one because like I think that actually came out of just a conversation we were having where we were just going back and forth, like talking about some stuff, and like it was basically it was like a juxtapositional statement of like, because the whole title for the thing is high grade platinum trash, and it's like, so to have like the contrasting things there where it's like you now have high grade platinum, so like already we're at the platinum level, but it's high grade platinum, so it's like we pushed it up to its upper pinnacle to be contrasted with trash. So like for something to like, you know what I mean, like I was actually on my way here to the studio to CX, and I was like, I had a shit day at work where like I just had to deal with like just awful customer after awful customer, and I was ranting to him about it, just being like, man, you know those days where it's not like you just had that one shitty person, but it's like one after another. It was just like awful person after awful person, and they got progressively worse, where I was just like, did a memo go out? Did I not know like today was the day all the shitty people are coming? Like I would have taken today off and just not been here. But I was ranting to him about it. I was just like, you know, it's like the quality of people that you're like, look at this high grade platinum trash. Like, and I had never said that before, but like even just the way it sounded and looked and everything, like when I was typing it out, like by the time I got here and we were talking about it, we're like, you know, we're making a song called High Grade Platinum Trash, and we're just going to be extremely ignorant on the song.
Yeah, for me, it like encapsulates like you have. It's like we're doing what we're trying to do. We're trying to do it at the most professional level, but we're doing some trashy music. So it's like, you know, it's like we're gonna do some of that trasy music, but we're gonna do it at the
But real
level.
good.
Yeah,
Right.
top-notch trash right
Right.
here.
Yeah, it's gonna be potent. I'm gonna say some stuff now. But it's gonna be potent. It's gonna be something you want to listen to. I enjoyed it. Me personally, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the songs I was able to listen to from
Nice,
all
nice.
y'all artists. I feel all y'all artists are complete, and y'all blend well together. So I'm looking forward to see what is it again? Acid.
Acid Math.
Acid Math. Yeah.
So to
Acid
shout
Math.
out that project fully, it's gonna be a tape. It's called 3.5 G's or grams. We haven't really landed on it. It's gonna be a weed tape, but it's gonna be 3 tracks. They're all kind of realized right now, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be released on 420, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gotta
That's
go for
cool,
it.
man. That's 6
release.
days after my birthday, so I'm definitely
Nice.
We'll shout you out on the tape. Happy birthday.
it definitely in there, man. One that I was about to say it threw me off at first. Then I was like, okay, I had to listen to it and kind of get in the vibe. Is I Need Water. The name.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
That was kind of our first dip in the water after not touching music for a bit. And I was like, you know, let's just do something not too serious. And it just kind of came together quick, I think. Like,
Yeah, we didn't have anything like pre-planned or preordained for anything. We got together, and that was the first beat that we threw on that we both vibed with, and we just started like it was basically the same process either one of us would go through, like with pen and paper individually, but instead we were just doing it out loud and basically bouncing ideas and like bars and punchlines off of each other until like we just like slowly kept building. And I think within, I don't know, like we had that
24 hours probably.
yeah, like it took, well, like I mean even written, like
Yeah.
we had that written in like no time.
Yeah.
Like we did it in an afternoon, like had takes laid down, and then like all in from like start to finish, it was less than 24 hours. So
Yeah, the song was just meant to be funny and kind of gross. And then I was actually recording in the process of recording, and I actually just said the I Need Water thing at the top of the track because I actually did. And it was really far away from where I was recording. So it's like, I need water. And then I just played on it, and we added some extra layers, and it became a whole like intro. And people gave us a lot of good feedback on the intro. And I was like, it was just by accident. Damn. But the best stuff comes together organically, I find. It's really good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do. Yeah, you hit that on the nose. That's why I like to do things organic, because the best stuff come organically. You know,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it shouldn't be rushed, especially with music. It shouldn't be rushed. It should be completely organic. But yeah, man. Like I was saying, you know, before we was rudely cut off, we was talking about I believe I Need Water, and you were saying that it was really organic. You just really needed some water.
Yeah, no, the intro to that came together just about shouting out water. I was like, hey, I need water. And then we had it to be like, I'm so thirsty, and the other layers after that. But a lot of the stuff we do in terms of our like, for C1 radio, we did a track in terms of like we have a little skit where it's like a radio DJ. I ended up doing all the voices for that. It's probably because I'm kind of schizo. I just get on the thing and I just start talking, and we just keep most of it. It's all natural. I don't plan out the skit. I don't go like, hey, I'm going to say this funny thing, la, 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 and say it. I just kind of get there and I just start talking crap and just making jokes. And then we end up like keeping some of it and then restructuring it and then re-recording it. So it sounds better, obviously. So I'm not just sounding loony. So, but I like the way it turns out sometimes. The radio thing we ended up keeping. Another thing we got a lot of compliments on for C1 radio. And it just came together organically. I just started doing it because just like to just talk to myself on the mic.
Just a side note to the fans out there. Everyone know this is BRK's official road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, I've been hella supportive the last 6 months. Yeah, I know we hitting almost at 500 subscribers. I thank y'all for supporting, man, and continue to support. Make sure y'all do like, comment, and subscribe for those who haven't. So that way, when we do the giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, you know, you'll be able to win. Be able to be a part of it. and possibly win. Yeah, this whole experience just is a humbling experience for me, for someone who started podcasts accidentally. It was me going on somebody else's podcast doing the interview, which started me doing podcast interviews, and that person telling me, "You in the wrong profession. This is the profession you need to be in. This is what you need to be doing." Um, so that's how that started. So that's just a little side note because we don't need Zoom trying to kick us off again.
No, it's honestly, it's a great platform.
Yeah.
We all thought like, hey, yeah, wow, we would do that for sure. It gives us like, we were saying like, we're not going to record ourselves talking about our music, but if it happens organically like this, you know, getting a chance to talk about your songs more in depth, people don't always ask those questions. So when you get a platform to talk about, hey, this is why we made this song. It's not, we're not just doing it to hear our own voices, you know, like with Bravery, even I didn't know that. And then hearing that, I have more respect for that song going back on another listen. I go, man, I know what he was going through when he wrote that.
Yeah.
This is deep. You know, it always helps to do that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I enjoy the most when I'm talking to an artist and they can break down their song and their report, and we talk about it as a person who writes, who freestyles, who can put up a good song. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just I get inspired by almost anything. You know what I'm saying? But when I hear good music, I want to know how it's made. I want to know what his mindset was in, because that makes me think maybe I gotta go. If he like, man, I went through something. That's why I was. I need to go through something too.
Yeah.
Passion. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we all can learn from each other.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And that's I call it on the job training. So I guess this is only to get a job. Gives you the good idea. What kind of softwares do y'all use when y'all record? What kind of DAWs y'all use and stuff like that?
So for us over here, we've got our, well, you know more about the mic because you got, we've been using the same mic for years. Oh my God. But we picked up a soundproofing dome and we use Adobe Audition, which we actually have a subscription for. I hate the new age of music where everything's subscription based.
Yeah.
We used to be able to buy stuff outright and just
be like,
it.
that's mine.
And now there's no freedom of ownership anymore. You're just forced to rent everything. Like they took that rental model and they just thought, wait, we can apply this to everything. Why the fuck?
Oh, why would we sell it once?
Why are we selling anything anymore? You can rent a beat, you can rent a program, rent it all.
Yeah, I'm just using free Audacity on Windows. That's it.
The Audacity, but I mean, like, you know, you got to reach out for all your mixes, and me, I'm here slaying it up now.
Yeah, I'm bumming
next level mixing.
Yeah. That's cool. Use Audacity. Don't feel bad because I'm still using BandLab. I'm working around using audio editors and stuff like that. I've never really been an audio guy. I've always been a video guy. I've never really been an audio guy. So that was the different experience, but it's not really hard. I just don't have the time, a lot of time to do it. But yeah, Audacity is I heard was a good software to use. There's a couple different other ones. I know a lot of people use FL Studios.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's the Cool Edit Pro back in the day when we were using that one. Cool Edit Pro,
Yep.
Magic's Music Maker, like all those programs. We've dabbled in everything. Tried our hand at Pro Tools. It wasn't that it was too complicated. Just hated the interface. It was just like, why? Why have all this on the screen?
Yeah, I can't stand damn Pro Tools. I don't like, it's too much going on. Just simplify the process.
You're
learning live stream a little bit. I just figured out actually today how to live stream from Zoom to YouTube. I didn't do it on this video, but I wish I had it. Maybe wouldn't be cutting the hell off. But you know, I just learned how to do it. I'm like, it was that easy. What the hell was I doing the whole time?
Honestly, it feels that way with anything. Like even mixing, like picking up on mixing stuff. I'm just like, I start doing a project and then I'm like, hey, what if I tried this? And I was like, man, I want to erase all my work now. I hate every song I've done until this point. And now this song sounds amazing. And the rest of them sound like some garbage heap, some high grade platinum trash. And
high grade platinum trash.
Just trash, yeah.
Yeah. So who each one of y'all individually, I'm curious to see who are the top 5 artists in y'all playlist.
That's good. Yeah, I'll go. I mean, damn. For me, I'm really on my Kid Cudi right now.
Okay.
Just because like I don't know. I just like the vibe. It's something he puts more emotion into his work, and you just kind of feel that. And I'm a sucker for layers and ad libs. So when he's out there humming and hawing, I'm like, this is amazing. It just makes me feel uplifted. Other than that, I've been taking in more hardcore artists like some like Denzel Curry. I didn't have him on my playlist before, and now I'm like, oh damn! This isn't just like I had the wrong perception of what that music was, and it's really good. Jadena from Time, since he was in the Luke Cage show, honestly, with that what was that, the Chief? What is it, that song he has?
Uh, Hail to the Chief.
Hail to the Chief or something.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
It's
just
the
like
guy with the 5 heartbeats perm, right?
yeah.
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 Yeah, and as a Canadian, I have to like The Weekend right now, just because like I'm more like, honestly, it's not even like a lot of rap right now. I'm liking vibe type music and just getting older, and I don't need to be preached at half the time. Sometimes I just want to listen to some music I could chill to and not have to think too much. But every once in a while, you want to hear a lyricist drop some bars and be like, "Whoa, okay, I'm shook."
Yeah, they can stop. Just a side note, stop hating y'all out there in social media land. Stop hating on the goddamn Weekend and his Super Bowl performance. He did the best he could. You know.
Yeah, Eon's one. I'm talking to you in Australia. Shout out Eon's one.
Well,
Shout out Eon's one.
Talking to you because
He was talking some smack about The Weekend.
Yeah,
But, you know,
but,
we rectified it.
Yeah, I've always been a Weekend fan, so I know what he's capable of. A lot of people were saying his performance was trash. That did not come from me. This is not the Weekend. This is the weekdays, so that did not come from me. I'm just saying. I think it was okay. I think he did, what he could do virtually for the performance, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't there fully in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely another talented MC. Next person, I just cut your conversation.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. Was that 5 for you or?
Oh, Run the Jewels all the way for another person I got to add on, just for my hardcore like lyricism, great flows, structures, powerful beats,
Yeah.
just high energy all day, kicking ass.
Yeah, both of them are really good. I mean, for me, I've been listening to a lot of Don Toliver these days.
Oh, for
I really
sure.
like his just like the vibes and like the melodies that he's really got going on. Like it's like the same type of like intricate song making we've all come to expect from like Travis Scott. It's like the same thing, but just kind of like a different spin on it. And I like just a lot of, just quite frankly, the music he makes, like it sounds good. I like vibing out to it pretty much at any point in time. I can throw it on while I'm like walking to work or something like that, or even while I'm at home just like cooking or some random crap. So
Yeah.
but like him, bunch of DaBaby, you can't go wrong with him. Like he's got great punchline, great flows. I love his beats, like everything like that. Who else has been in there? Oh man, like I'm trying to think who else is in there. I'm drawing a blank right now. I mean, I pull up old Wayne all the time, like you know what I mean. Like,
love Wayne back in the day.
yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like one of my favorite classic artists. So like not even new material from him.
I think
just
I
pull
think
up
the
old
disclaimer
stuff.
on this is my top 5 currently.
Yeah.
not of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
These people wouldn't hit that list if it
Yeah,
was
it's
all
just
time.
like who's being played right now. Like these are guys that I'm just bumping songs from that I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think that vibey wave is right now is what everyone kind of likes. It's like not everyone, but like I feel like that's what we're kind of on right now. We're just
Yeah.
liking more stuff that's about layers and melodies and riding the whole beat, not just about just raps all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous and the Get Rich or Die Trying album.
Oh, damn.
A ton. Yo, 50 and Big L at the gym all the time. And then I've been listening, so for vibes, I've been listening to a lot of JID.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jay's
yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
flows
I
are
mean,
incredible. I mean,
They're
Yeah.
definitely, that should have made your list.
Yeah,
for sure.
like
Definitely.
I said, I
does
was
not
drawing a
miss.
blank.
Drawing a blank for sure. Yeah, no, that's definitely Jid is on his
he
list.
does not miss. And then I've been going through all J. Cole stuff,
Mm.
just cycling back through all. Oh man, I love.
Man, it's just
listening.
great music, huh? Earth
J.
Gang right
Cole.
now is killing it. I love Earth Gang.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but the J. Cole's is where I get like those. That's probably is the most vibey. Like I love those beats and just oh man, he's like, he's so good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that switch to something more like from a rap, just like bar, to something more melodic, where you're like holding the line and you're kind of singing it and you're putting a little bit more into your vocals and just giving it like That's what I'm feeling like now that we've been doing this for so long. We're trying to get more advanced with our cadences, and instead of just like, hey, I can rhyme and I can flow and I can say some bars. I wanna focus on how I'm saying them and say them better and cooler. Just like get on some different levels, hit some stuff I might not have hit before.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just a little glimpse into my playlist. I guess I answered this question too.
For sure, for sure.
Definitely Rod Wave is in my playlist.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Okay.
I
Loved him on
love,
that XL freestyle.
yeah, he's dope. He's dope. He's original. He's one of a kind in what he
Yeah.
does.
He's getting memed to hell.
Yeah. I really liked that Dying These Cuban Links record from him. That was really good.
Yeah, that was dope what he did with Kevin Gates. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
dropped the Plug Daughter 2. So if y'all ain't check out Kevin Gates, the Plug Daughter 2, check that
Okay.
out, man. Y'all know that's Gates, man. That's the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely listening to Gates. I'm just no, not just recent because I've been playing a lot. North Carolina artist Murray. Quicksand is one of my favorite songs for the year 2021 right now.
Have to take that.
Yeah, check him out. One of the rising star right now. It's Murray or Murray. Another eclectic sound, got it kind of his own style. Yeah. Also, like Jay-Z is always in the playlist.
Yep.
Somewhere, you know. It's a crazy list for me. And to round that list off, like I said, to be honest, to round it off, I got Jack Harlow in my list. Right now, I feel like I feel like he remind me so much of Eminem in his prime. But Eminem was the I don't give a F. Well, you know, it's my, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk about my mama, my sister, my cousin, my brother, my auntie, my old lady.
Yeah.
Anyone can get it.
Right. And Jack
Get the
Harlow is
smoke.
like, man, I just came to have fun. I'm gonna kill you with
Yeah.
the club ops. What's popping? You know,
Yeah.
let's have fun with it. But I love what he's doing. I think a couple years so definitely gonna be a legendary artist if he ain't legendary already. But yeah, that's definitely what's in my playlist. Like I listen to a lot of different stuff. You might hear me listening to Passenger. You may hear me listening to James Arthur from out of the UK. You know, it's different styles of music I like to listen to.
Yeah.
I just like to keep my mind and my horizons open. I feel like best music is made outside the box. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in the comfort zone too long. You know.
We got a pretty eclectic Spotify for
Yeah.
sure. Like I'm not out here with just all rap. It's all kinds of stuff. I like vocalists. I like lots of singers.
Yeah.
Layers, all day layers. I'm just a big layer fan. You have layers in
Yeah.
your song, multiple vocal layers. It's stuff that's gonna really resonate in the ears. I love
Definitely.
it. And stuff you don't hear on that first listen. You go back and you're like, oh, I didn't catch that. Did you hear that? There's like a choir in the back there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's good when you can go. If you ain't going back and listening to it 2 and 3 times, you know what I'm saying? That what makes it worthwhile when you go back and listen and say, he said that. You know you heard it the first time, but you wanted to clear that let you know he's saying something. So, you know, and I just appreciate good music. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming and sharing y'all creative process with us and y'all music with us. I'm gonna put all the links in the bottom of the description. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all support them in every way. We as an independent community have to support each other in every way because we don't get the platforms all these big names get.
Yeah.
And half of the times when they doing interviews, they talking about, I heard you did this, I heard this happened.
Yeah.
It's never about the music.
Exactly.
It brings it back to the essence of the music. It's purely all it's about. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming on. Shout out to y'all, man. Once again, my guest in the building, man. You know, before we leave out, man, if y'all got any shout outs, you know, any people I want to shout out, you know, anything y'all want the fans to let the fans know where they can find y'all at all social media platforms, all that, man.
Carl, go ahead. You do your thing, dog.
Yeah, follow me at Wendland Kyle, Instagram. Wind Land Kyle. 3 4 letter words.
Yeah, all that shiz on Instagram, but also check out the RJB collab community Discord.
Oh,
Definitely check out my buzz,
Yeah.
man. Been around a little minute. I didn't know they had all that going on, but they've been around a little minute.
Yeah, there's lots to do there. Lots of competitions, great community, lots of people to work with. I've already got like 4 or 5 collabs. In
Yeah.
a span of 2 weeks, I think, and with lots of good projects coming out of there for sure.
And tons of growth in that community. It's
100%.
booming.
Yeah, tons of talent in that community also. Definitely check them out. I'm cutting y'all off, but be just a side note before I let them finish wrapping up their shout outs and stuff. Also check out Battle Rap Kingdom the Discord.
Yeah.
I just put out the news break today of what we got going on. We got Cypher series coming up. We got live virtual concert series coming up. Battle Rap event coming up. Just to let y'all guys know and everybody else know when they check the video. Anytime y'all want to be a part of something, I got so many links. Y'all can hit me up at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everything is at Battle Rap Kingdom. You can hit me
Battle Rap Kingdom. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Definitely.
And thank you for having us on here. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
No problem.
Dope. It's been dope.
Definitely, man. It was a dope interview. I mean, yeah, y'all dope artists as hell. I mean, it's really my pleasure. But like I said, shout out to you guys, man. I hope I have a good day, man. It's the Chop It Up podcast, man. It's your boy Hawklyfe. Y'all know before I leave, I gotta kick it off with a nice freestyle. It's something I just started a couple of interviews ago, and y'all know I gotta sit like that. And when I kick this freestyle, if my guests want to join in, that's definitely up to them. But I'm gonna kick it off with the freestyle, man. You know this Chop It Up podcast. Well, let's go.
Oh, dope.
Listen, I got bars for days. My shit got extensions. They thinking I'm triple X. I told them I'm the best. Blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. I'm telling you, I'm not the one to test. I'm trying to get them the Kelly vibe. We the best. Yeah. Yeah. Look, this that new stuff, ooh stuff. I just do stuff. Say stuff out the top of my brain. Going insane. This type of shit will make a grown man lose it. But I'm gonna stay in my I don't know. I done messed up. Y'all know what it is, man.
Yo, that's sick.
Man. Chop It Up podcast, man. Special thank you one more time to my guests, Lakeshore Disciples, aka Acid, Math, all that, man. They in the building, man. We appreciate y'all, man. It's the Chop It Up podcast. Chop it up. Let's talk.